Judith is here. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Cindy.
And Sidra is here, and it says Sumner. I don't see Sumner yet, but let me click and see if I can get it over to Sumner. Ah, Sumner's here too. Yay.
I see you're frozen. I don't know. Is it just me?
Am I frozen?
No, not to me.
Am I frozen now, or am I better?
No.
No problem. You've been defrosted this whole time.
Defrosted? Oh, good.
After all these years.
Finally. Huh?
Okay, well, shall we get the meeting started for this week?
Yes.
Frank is traveling. He was literally in an airplane 20 minutes ago when Cindy and I got in here to help start the meeting recording. So on Frank's behalf, welcome everyone to this week's meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. Phrancko.com is a place where you can go to download custom sweaters with set-in sleeves, knit from the top down, made to your specifications with the yarn and gauge of your choosing. And we meet up every week to talk about Phrancko sweaters and the process and other knitting things and just life in general. So if you're watching along at another time, you're always welcome to join us here, whether you're just interested or kind of want to hang out and chat with us. So for everyone who watches us every week, hello, welcome, and hello to everyone else. Who do we have today? Let's roll call. We have Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
And we have Joellen.
Hello.
Oh, and we have Kathy. Hello, Kathy.
Hi.
And we have Sidra.
Hello.
And we have Judith. Bonjour, Judith.
Bonjour.
And we have Sumner. Bonjour, Sumner.
Hi. Bonjour. Bonjour.
And is that everyone? Is anyone
Yes.
still out there in the world? Okay. Well, it's been another week, hasn't it?
Is that good or bad?
That's good.
The rest of
You know,
all.
I can't speak for any of you. But here we are. I had a fantastic time last weekend.
Tell us more.
I was I won't get into too much details. I was at the John Waters weekend.
Oh, that's
in
right. Yes.
San Luis Obispo, and it was a fantastic time. It was just fantastic. I got to meet and chat with John Waters for a while. He gave a little meet and greet and a talk, and then there was a screening, and it was really just the highlight of my well, a highlight.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I have some stuff to show Cindy that I can't wait to show her.
Okay,
But-
show.
That's a good place to start.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me spotlight
Wait,
you.
hold on.
Spotlight for everyone. Ah,
Anna Tarja knits. Oh, wow.
Oh, I needed to work on the arga.
Yes.
Cindy, you will love this. So I did this today.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, that's
okay.
gorgeous.
So it's like a pillow, right?
Beautiful.
Can I show you what it's attached to?
Oh, so that's how you keep it
Yeah.
straight. And with
What
the
a
little,
great idea.
wow.
Right?
this is how I keep my Antarja straight. I have an old shoebox that I punched holes in.
Yeah.
Not that I do that much Antarja these days.
And then
That's
you,
interesting.
when you knit, right? You
Yeah.
do your crosses. When you purl, because it's flat, you turn it over,
Right.
do your crosses, it unwinds your crosses.
Wow.
Turn it back over again, and it's your crosses.
You got to turn it back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth like that,
Right?
right?
Like this, and
Yeah.
this, and
Yeah.
this, and this.
Yeah.
Now, I have been trying to work on not overworking Antarja.
You mean
Because-
What do you mean
making
by
the
not overworking?
process too tight?
No, when you have Antarja and you have a color going over on a slant. So I'm now gonna pick up one,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Well, that's your cross.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's your cross. So now you just knit. You don't have to worry about old over new because that is old over new.
Oh,
Okay. So the back ends up looking very, very neat. I don't
it
know if
does.
you
It
can
looks
see it,
really
okay,
neat.
right?
And-
Because when you
And
don't
it looks
overwork
like your
it,
tension is so good with it too. from the
otherwise
fact-
you're double wrapping, right? And then you're
Yep.
gonna have like an unevenness. It won't be flat,
Mhm.
right?
Because that looks very flat and even. All the stitches look evenly sized.
Yeah, which loving, because I needed to work a better, because originally Chuck's sweater was gonna be in the round intarsia.
Mhm.
Now, because it's a cardigan, it's actually gonna be traditional intarsia. So I needed an argyle that fit better down the left panel.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And this particular will fit perfect down a left panel of a sweater, right?
That is
Yeah,
so
that looks
pretty.
really good.
Really cool.
And the diamond is a lot more even than the one I did myself. So I'm stealing this one from Sally Melville.
I know that
And-
name, but I don't know
Yeah,
why.
she does a lot of intarsia. So I have this little intarsia pattern from her. And so this shoebox thing, Roxanne Richardson had years ago come out with this, because she loves antique knits,
She does all the old.
a lot of old school knits, right? So like
Right.
back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, there was someone who got an actual US patent on essentially an intarsia box. But you would put these little tiny wrapped up balls inside of acrylic houses and you would feed it through a tube.
Mhm.
Right? It was a lot. It was pretty involved.
Yeah.
But basically it's a shoebox with some
It's that.
paper punch holes and stuff.
Oh, that's
So-
amazing.
I've never done this shoebox thing with intarsia.
Mhm.
Loving it. Because I'm trying not to overwork the intarsia, I'm not completely unwrapping when I'm going back and forth.
Mhm.
But it's very easy to switch the ones that you need to unwind.
So,
And
so
you
if
would
you're
enjoy it
going-
for yourself.
If you're going the other way, Sumner, if you like go one less and you have to start, that way is where you do have to wrap, right? But if you're getting
Well,
bigger, you
right,
don't.
because if I'm doing a wrap, like old over new in a wrap,
Mhm.
when I purl it, it will unwrap.
Okay.
But the ones that I didn't do
Mhm.
won't. So they'll twist
Right.
because you got to twist it the other way, right?
Right.
So
you
you
have to do
just-
the
you-
other direction.
But it's very easy to do. Like literally, I did this today, like this morning and
That's
today.
amazing and so.
Very,
fast.
very. I mean, it's on sevens, but it's just very fast. You wouldn't even.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it would be cool for you to look at because of
Yeah, I will. I'll
You're
have to
looking at
try
the-
that.
the Argyle thing, and I just needed it to be better. And I just love Argyle so much.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I like the look, but it's always just looked very challenging and really,
It does indeed.
mhm. You know, so if there's something that you can do to make it a little bit easier that way, I mean, because
Yeah.
it is just knitting, but it's like you're having to do some extra stuff. It's just knitting one side, purling the other.
Right.
Right. If you're doing it in
Yarn,
stockinette, because
yeah.
a lot of the intarsia that I'm looking at is now intarsia, but with patterns,
Mhm.
Oh,
like an
wow.
intarsia with moss stitch. Right.
Oh, gosh, that would be hard.
So that's, well, as long as you're going into your intarsia on a knit and then you do your moss stitch will always work out.
That's true.
So every first stitch is a knit and then the rest, your
Mhm.
pattern's gonna look
And
beautiful.
you just go.
Yeah, so just little things. I thought that would be a really helpful
That's
thing for
very
you. You
interesting.
just count how many individual yarns you need for your pattern and you punch them into a shoebox and you cut lines down.
Mhm.
And yeah, I
Oh,
thought,
that's
oh,
cool. Very
So
good.
Sumner,
yeah.
are you able to do this in a round?
Yes,
So your threads will
You
probably just
don't-
lead up through the middle?
you don't need this in the round. In the round, it's a little bit, because you'd be above your box. You're,
Yeah,
because all the threads are inside, right? So
Yeah.
in the round, I do like bobbins
okay,
because they just move. Like you
Right.
just hold them up and they'll straighten out.
right.
Because
As
you
long
go
as they don't
back.
cross over. Mine like to entangle themselves with their brothers. But you mentioned
Oh,
something
yeah.
about a little, kind of a little box that they put in the yarns in the individual containers. And that
Yeah,
would work well.
That
for
is a
holding them
board that you sit the little boxes in so it stays
Oh.
straight. They don't move.
Okay,
So it's like this.
okay, period.
Now, I was tempted to try this in the round because intarsia in the round is not really in the round. It's back and forth knitting,
Yeah,
but it's disconnected on one end.
right.
But where, I don't know, where a sock is so small, I don't know. I'll try it and I'll get back to you. I've
That's
never
what I
done it
was wondering about that. Yeah.
because it is back and forth. I guess it would make
Yeah.
sense that it would work.
Yeah. There was always one that you had to loop under. The last one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a sock years ago in Argyle and teamed it up the back. But that was regular flat. I've not done intarsia in the round. So yeah, we'll see.
That's cool.
Who
Very
knows?
nice. Thank
But
you,
I was so
Summer.
excited
That's
to tell Cindy about that. 'Cause
interesting.
it would really like help because it really, it's so fast.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then you could just, if it works for you, it works for you. But
Thank you.
welcome, because you're too far away for me to come and do it for you.
Well, I wish I was closer.
But
Or
I
you were
was telling
closer,
Chuck,
one of the other.
I was telling Chuck, we gotta go out and visit Cindy, because that would be
Oh,
fun.
you should.
What else have we got going on? Has anyone got anything new and interesting for this week? Progress updates? Too early to say.
I ripped out 6 inches yet this morning.
All
Oh,
right.
no.
You know,
On Thursday, you were
My-
showing me what you did. It was so cool. It was
my
going
swatch was,
fast.
my swatch, oops, my hair is still wet. My swatch was perfect. Perfect. I can even show you my swatch maybe. Yeah, it's right here. So, but I did it flat,
Mhm.
and normally my flat and my in the round are exactly the same,
Oh, no.
but this time not. And here I'm blushing already.
Oh, no.
Because I'm so embarrassed that I didn't do an in the round swatch, and normally
This
I
is knitting
do.
lessons.
Huh?
Knitting lessons for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Always.
So
Swatch with the same yarn, with the
the
same
yarn is
needle,
slippery
in
and the
same
needles
way.
the needles are slippery, and usually I use wood needles, and these are lace needles, carbon, whatever, carbon.
Because don't you usually use likey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the wood because I have more control. But after knitting 6 inches now, the silver lining is that my knitting really evened out with this little yarn and these needles. And so so now that I'm doing it again, it's looking much better. But it's not as my gauge is looser, definitely.
So
than,
this is
than the
like
flat.
a lace fingering or whatever you said, a very light
It's
fingering.
a heavy lace, light fingering. But it's really, I think these are ones and my gauge is 7 stitches to the inch. This was
Okay.
closer to 8 stitches to the inch.
That's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
What is
It
it?
is, it's really pretty. It's pretty.
Oh,
yarn.
it's gorgeous yarn. This is the ball. You can see
Mm.
it's
Yum.
Meadow from the fiber company. And I think I showed you guys, this is my little mosaic.
Oh, yes.
collage.
Oh, nice.
Love the roses, yeah.
Yeah. So
They're
that'll
great.
happen across the front.
Beautiful.
Anyway, that's my, but I decided I wasn't gonna kvetch over it. I was just gonna start again and do my inch a day. And in 20 days, I'll have a little top. Well, a month.
Well, that's kind of like knitting, unknitting is part of knitting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is.
So,
It happens to all of us.
Well,
I'm
and in
glad to
trying to
hear-
work out this, I've done a lot of unknitting, you know, like it was like I somehow at one of these where the points meet, I've really had to like unknit and knit again and unknit and knit again. And just
Yeah.
just to get it to work out what I actually needed to do. That's a big swatch, is what that is.
that's a big swatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
you know
all
what,
that is.
Sumner, when you were working on those Argyle things, so that's got me, well, I'm not anxious, but what do you call that? I can't wait to get started. What I want to do for KnitWiz is, you know how you said I only needed 3 diamonds going down the side?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm going to add that in the software so that you can choose, do I want this to go all the way up and down, or how many times do I want this to repeat?
Oh, that's clever.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
something.
It actually shouldn't be that much work, but you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I just had to redesign my Argyle, you know?
why for the cardigan?
Yeah, so that because the Argyle that I liked, I did because I liked the Argyle itself.
Yeah.
And then the sweater, but then when you put the two together, the top Argyle gets completely lost
Mm,
because it's not a whole Argyle. It's out
Right.
of right?
right,
So I wanted whole diamonds,
right,
right?
absolutely.
So if there's 3, if there's 4, it doesn't matter, but I need them more centered. So this Argyle I like because of the width is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there you go.
there you go.
I'm a work in progress.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Ron, I wanted to ask about what happened about your class when you were doing the Phrancko sweater design class.
oh yeah.
You hadn't been for like several weeks, but you were talking about all the interesting things they were doing.
Yes. So we are at the point now where we're no longer meeting every week because now they just have knitting to do. So we've gone through all of the parts. We had one student whose first idea just didn't pan out. The yarn that she had originally selected just wasn't cooperating with the kind of stitch pattern she wanted. And that's part of the process. She had this idea.
It
She's
is, that happens.
stitch
Mhm.
pattern. She's like, oh, I love this yarn. Did the swatches, tried to figure it out. And every time she looked at the swatches, she was just like, bleh. So
Wow.
then she came in one day right before class to go bleh at her swatches to show them to me while she went bleh. And she saw another yarn and she saw the yarn and she's like, "Whoa, what is that?" And so she switched from like a single tweed, and this was part of the issue she was having. She liked the singles yarn, but she wanted to do a sort of lacy thing. And
The singles are
you
gonna
wanted to work-
behave so differently.
Yeah, they were closing up her eyelets and they were
Yeah, yeah,
making things, because they're inherently unbalanced.
yeah.
But then she found a new cotton linen in a 2-ply that the lace opens, 2-plies press on themselves and make big, open, lovely, balanced eyelets. So when you're knitting lace and you want the lace to be really open, and then a 2-ply yarn is your friend. So she found that, she loved the linen, she wanted to make a
Sure.
summer top, and started on that. And in the next week, she got that first part of the Phrancko that we all know, Don, where it looks like it's a little thing, and I don't know what it
I
is.
know, but it looks like,
Right.
like, yeah, but it's the hard part of it. It really is.
Yeah. Once you're through that, it's easy. And then I had another student who was doing an all over stranded pattern.
Ooh,
Mm.
It's a fairly simple geometric pattern of like an 8-stitch repeat in 4 or 5 rows all over the top of the bodice. And then past the split of the sleeves somewhere, it's a different, larger all over pattern. Once increases and decreases have stopped.
Mhm.
So she's particularly planned it out to not have to do any body shaping or anything like that. But the finding the right gauge measurements to take and identifying how you want your repeats balanced in order to put the correct things into the generator to get a stitch multiple that's going to fit your
It
stitches.
works.
Figuring out where you want to start your pattern, how you want it to line up at the shoulders. That's all a lot of fairly advanced kind of fussy work. It's not insurmountable by any means, but it's a lot of fussing. So they're all working on it. And then tomorrow I have sort of like open knitting hours for them to come in, and we'll see where they are. I have one student who is going to use the bust shaping, the princess style bust shaping generator.
Oh,
that
very nice.
That's
I
nice.
developed. So we'll have a test of that as she works through it, because she wanted relatively low ease, but she has a fairly large bust, but not enough to justify well, she liked the thought, and then maybe we'll do some short rows underneath if there's a big difference in the lengths once it goes over her bust line. So
Yeah.
see how that goes, and then seeing if it goes well, someone who can do more programming than a spreadsheet can get I'm not
I'd volunteer.
great. I will let you know the formulas.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Because my ability to write any code is all in, I knew just like a baby's amount of Python that I use for my linguistics degree, like acoustic analysis scripting, and this is all I know. And it's like in my
Coding is a lot like English. I mean,
no,
it's
I do.
language.
I went to grad school for linguistics, so like computational linguistics is
Yeah,
that deal. I understand how it works, but I don't want to do it.
yeah, that's the difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Now that someone will have put it into an actual sweater, we
Yeah.
can see that it functions properly.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah, there's but the sweaters are in
neat.
progress. I hope that next time they have like a significant amount of sweater to show, to take some photos, share them with everyone.
Yeah, it would be fun to see.
No, they're going to be really impressive. It's a set of excellent knitters, and with really solid ideas about the kind of garments they want to make and how they want them to look and how they want the effect to be, and with 3 sort of very different types of personalities. So
Well, and it sounds like they're very, very different sweaters.
Yeah, quite.
Mhm.
Yeah, one will be a
Very
summery top, one will be sort of the wisteria woodland tunic that I designed. She saw that sample and she's like, Ron, I want this, but in a big girl size.
That's great.
Enroll in my class. We will get you that in a big girl size.
That was such a fun one to knit, and Allie really loves wearing it.
Good. In the meantime, this is where my sweater got to.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, yay.
look at that.
We're down on the green bands. It's
Wow.
got some holes. Come on, open up.
This is the, you call it distressed or destroyed?
Stressed.
Distressed, okay.
So it's got some
Wow.
Do
Look
you have
at
some
that.
distressed blue jeans that you can wear with?
No, I only wear harem pants these days because I came out of the other end of the height of the pandemic, pledging to never put jeans on again in my life.
I don't wear yoga pants anymore. That's about as
Yeah.
far as I'm gonna go.
No, you know how interested I am in having
I got a
anything
pair of
easy in-
harem pants, yeah. And
They're so
kids
comfortable.
call them clown pants, but I don't care.
Yeah.
It has a nice elastic waist. It's comfortable. It's like, leave
Yeah.
me alone.
Yep.
But as I've worked, I'm just sort of developing different ways to start and finish runs and different
Mhm.
ways to put
Look at that.
holes in. Because I mean, I've given myself a few rules on the kinds of errors that I knit in. So here, this will be a gap at the neckline where
Oh,
the
interesting.
hem, where the hem has sort of come unattached. So I got a big morgue of photos of old or ripped up or running sweaters. So I can look at the sort of runs and errors that are snags, not necessarily knitting errors.
Right.
Because conceptually, I want it to be a well-knit sweater
Right.
that fell apart. Look, in
Looks
visually.
cool. I like
It
that.
was
look.
well loved,
Wait.
well loved.
It
So-
looks like something that could be on the runway, Ron.
Yeah.
Wait.
Definitely. Paris.
So,
I see Paris.
yeah,
And I have a problem with it. I don't like it. I really don't. It bothers me.
you.
Really bothers me.
That's
Then I don't
funny.
like torn jeans like that either. It's like, why buy, a $100 pair of jeans that is just a few little,
I
pieces of
didn't buy
fabric
it.
that are there.
I made
Yeah,
it.
in my Ravelry library, I have a V-neck sweater that has runs knit into them. And it's just this really cool sweater.
Yeah.
I have yet to knit it, but it's waiting for me.
This might be my favorite little bit. Here's a hole. If this were a seam sweater,
Oh, yes.
where the sleeve cap would have
Yeah.
had a hole in the seam.
It's so funny.
And this is my pride sweater for the year. So
Ah.
there is a thematic reason why it's distressed.
Ah, that's good. That's a statement.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's art.
It's art. Yes.
it's fabulous.
So that's where I am. And it's nice because like the gauge winded out, each stripe is 32 rows long. So it's that nice thing where you sort of keep the mental tally to keep yourself going. It's like, oh, I do 2 of these and that's 1/16 of this stripe done. And so that's where I am. I'll warn Sidra when it's done and I'm gonna wear it.
I will still look at you, but I won't like it.
Sure. If it makes you feel any better, the integrity of the sweater is perfect. Oh, kissing, is that legal?
I'm jealous.
We have not had kissing on this program before.
Who's
Kissing at the
kissing?
First
bedroom.
time.
Yeah, it's-
How did I miss kissing?
You look down. Oh,
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 no.
there-
yay.
he's
back.
outside. Yay.
Uncle.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. That's fabulous.
But yeah, the actual details on the sweater should be a nice, long-lasting, otherwise a well-knit sweater. And if I enter it in the fair, I'll put little tags on it on pear pins that say, I did this on purpose. I know how to hold the underarms. I've done this on purpose. I know how to pick up a neckband. I've done this on purpose.
Yeah.
Phrancko's here?
Hey, Frank. Maybe he's in a cab.
Hey,
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
hi,
Frank.
Frank.
I don't even know where my camera is. There.
In front.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, where are you?
Frank.
For a minute while we're in the cab on the way to the hotel. Wait a minute. You know what? I want credit here. Hi, here's
Hi.
Andrew.
Hi.
Hi, Andrew.
I don't see one of you. Oh, darn it. Thank you. There they are. Oh. Oh, well, what a fine crowd.
Yes, here we are.
Hi, Andrew.
I had spotlighted Frank.
Since I'm here, I thought I'd show you what I'm working on.
Oh, I'm gonna re-spotlight.
And
Uh-oh.
We lost Frank.
Oh, we lost him.
No, they're back.
You lost
No
the
picture.
picture.
He's back.
this is what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So these are
pretty.
some ideas for traveling stitch cables. It's Jody Long Chow that I'm working with. And
Lovely
I'm
yarn.
getting pretty excited about these cables. So we'll do something with that.
And Andrew wants it when it's done.
Got it.
Okay,
That's right. This is
And if it's
You
being
heard it here
recorded.
first.
noted. You have dibs.
I do.
well. I
Frank,
where
just
you
want
guys
to stop
going?
in a minute and say hi to everybody, and we'll say goodbye and go on our way.
You two have a good time.
Have
All
fun.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't talk about me. It's being
It's hard. It's your meetup.
recorded. Oh, well, there's that. Okay. Nice to see you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good
Hi,
job.
Frank. Hi, Andrew.
That's fun.
Where are they going?
They're in
They're in
Washington,
Washington,
D.C.
DC. Mhm.
Oh,
Bunch of globe trotters, I'll tell you.
I wonder if the cherries are in bloom.
I think they are.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they are.
That's if ours bloomed the last week of January.
Oh my
Ours
Oh.
is still not bloomed.
That's when spring arrives.
Ours either.
I've never seen a cherry in Colorado. Sand cherries. We have sand cherries.
Sand
I think
cherry.
a cherry in Colorado would freeze. They wouldn't, the trees wouldn't even make it.
I don't think they would. But pears and crab apples are nice.
Have your pears bloomed yet?
No, nothing's blooming here yet. Well, the daffodils, that's the only thing.
Oh, yeah. Once again, don't confuse them for your spring onions. You'll get so sick.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting some tulip trees coming out.
I love those.
They're just beautiful.
Yeah, we're just, all of that's done here. So my most allergenic time of year has come and gone. And now I've got a couple more months until my second most allergenic time of year. They start defoliating the cotton and shaking the almonds.
Oh,
Oh.
And then I'm just like, "Ugh." I hate it.
I remember driving across over 152 during cotton season, and oh my God, all the moths and stuff like that, I couldn't see anything. And you don't turn your windshield wipers on because you're gonna smear it.
There's a field at the end of my block. Well, I live on like a cul-de-sac at a T intersection. And when you drive to the end of it, there's a field that alternates between corn and cotton. And so like in the first days when the sprouts are coming up and I'm looking to see which one they've planted and when it becomes and the alfalfa is starting to smell. I don't know if you've ever lived close to where alfalfa is grown, but as it gets older, like the smell, it goes through like artificial butter and like ranch dressing seasoning packet.
What
Boy.
do you think they put in artificial butter and ranch seasoning?
Alfalfa extract, I guess.
I think they probably do.
The agricultural smells, that's how it is. And people drive through Bakersfield, like Bakersfield stinks. First of all, the dairies are by the outside of the freeway. We don't live on the freeway or in the dairy. Secondly, those cows could buy and sell you.
Yeah.
Those cows are not peasants.
No.
Be nice to those stinky cows. But that's just me being defensive about agriculture. Yes. So does anyone else have anything fresh on the needles? I see lots of little hands working.
I'm learning.
Except for
to-
Judith. Judith hides her hands. And so she's just like from the neck up. So we can't see.
I'm learning to crochet,
Oh.
and I saw a pattern that I liked, and I don't know why I decided to learn. And sorry.
It's a good skill to have under your belt, even as
Yeah.
someone who's typically a knitter.
Yes, I'm having fun. I'm having some frustrations also.
Yeah.
But yes, I like it now. I have to understand how to seam two panels when there's different stitches.
Yes.
So
Seaming is tricky to crochet. Well,
it
if you
really is.
Because the stitch anatomy is so different.
Right.
It's very difficult to tell what you're looking at. If you're used to looking at knit stitches, which are fairly uncomplicated,
Right.
crochet stitches, they're asymmetrical. There's lots of stuff going on depending on how large the stitch gets. It's very, very hard to read your crochet as a beginner.
Right.
But
And
just trying to figure out, where do I put the hook?
yeah. So I've been searching on YouTube to see some information how to seam, and most of them are seaming a top with a bottom or another top, where there's the chain. So that's easy. Or they're sewing. That's it. Not sewing. They're
Yes.
sewing. When all the stitches are double crochet or single crochet. So everything.
Running a search for modified mattress stitch for crochet. You're seaming edge to edge?
That's right.
Yeah. Modified mattress stitch, which is also a way to seam as row to row to seam crochet to knitting. Or woven pieces like on a rigid heddle loom. Modified mattress stitch.
Okay, I took some notes. And on a more on a knitting subject, last week I finally went to a store that's a little outside of Montreal that sells Jody Long yarns, and it's the only one near where I live, and I was going to visit the family, so I made a little detour.
Tell the truth. Were you going to the yarn store and then telling your family that you were visiting them and just made a little stop?
No, it was
Don't
just
tell.
it was a great combination of
Okay, good, good,
activity.
It's a happy accident.
Yeah. So they didn't have they had only 4 colors. They had the blue, the mushroom, the spinach, and the light gray, which I don't remember the
Yeah.
name. So I was hesitating between the spinach and the gray and decided to take them both.
Oh,
Made them very
perfect
happy.
Good decision.
I like it.
So I'll be using this yarn to knit another dress that will.
Yeah, you'll love it. You'll
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
you-
thinking about you, Sumner, with
It's,
this.
oh,
big
I
balls of
wear that
spinach.
sweater all the time, all the time.
Yes, spinach is Sumner's color.
Yeah, so I was thinking about Ron also, and yeah, so.
Yeah, Ron started it.
I'm so glad. Well, as soon as I opened the first box of that, I went, oh, I need to get some of this into Sumner's hands because I opened it and I loved it. And I guess the knitting trends and what people like are, they change every couple years, what people are looking for.
Yeah.
And people are starting to be more open to sort of traditional woolly feeling,
Mhm.
even here where it swelters, but
Yeah.
Lawrence of Arabia's robe was made out of wool.
Yeah.
So if it's good enough to walk with a camel through China, it's
Yeah.
good enough for the
Well, and that
agricultural-
alpaca's got that nice squishy in the Jody Long, and I love it. It's so soft.
Mhm.
It's like woolly, but it's soft next to your skin.
Yep.
It's like the best of both worlds. Yeah, very nice.
So yeah, I'm very glad that you enjoyed your yarn store trip.
I did, but I didn't stay long. I was hoping they would also have the coastline from Jody Long, but they only had the Andiamo Light, and Alba.
Ah, yes.
So I didn't want.
Love all of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had to restrain from, but yeah. So that's why I didn't stay long, because I was so enthusiastic of
Yeah.
seeing everything. I'll go back another time. I just want to start with the dress.
I understand that coming down the pipeline, they're doing an Alba
Oh.
in Aaron weight.
Oh.
Oh, what is it now?
It's a light DK sport.
Okay.
Jody doesn't believe in putting numbers on his yarn because it's an American contrivance. I don't know. Well, it is called the Craft Yarn Council of America, Jody. I don't know what you.
What can you answer to that?
Yeah. So it's in that arena. But the yardage is very, very, very good on Alba.
Okay. Oh, it's nice. The little tweed.
Yes. Yeah. And the colors are nice.
Mais oui. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I love tweed.
So that's it for me.
Sid, are you working on one of your ongoing projects?
Yeah, but it's a mosaic
Yeah.
test knit that I'm doing, a cowl. So
Oh, who are you test knitting for? Tell us about it.
it's just a cowl done in a mosaic. It's a combination of a knit with purl. And it's just zagged.
Who is the test knit for?
I don't remember.
We'll come back to it.
It's not on this thing.
She's so generous of spirit that she
Yeah.
will tell you without knowing exactly who it is.
I don't know. I only printed out a couple of pages.
Sure.
And her name's not on it.
Well, that's a mistake.
I know.
Your name should be on every page.
You would think so.
Any
It just
designers
says
out there,
copyright reserved.
make sure your branding is on every page.
Right.
So how did you get the test knit if you don't know who you're knitting it for?
There's a website called Yarn Pod.
Okay.
and they do all kinds, I mean, just, I get daily emails as to, test knits.
Oh.
And I'm an idiot. I signed up for another one before I'm ready for it. And going, oh shit, I'm doing a sweater. Going, but it looks really cool.
That's the problem, right?
I know. And I actually have enough yarn here, so I didn't have to go buy anything.
That'll help too.
Yeah. So after I do that one, I've got to stop doing, test knits.
Take a break, yeah.
Well, I
Do
could
some
show
stuff
this
for
one.
yourself.
This one was a test knit.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
gorgeous.
Let
Very
me
nice.
spotlight you so we can ooh and ah without taking focus off you. There you go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful. Fun.
It's a wardrobe change.
Yay, it's so easy. Advantage of the cowls.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
beautiful.
love it. That's
Mm.
really sweet.
That's very pretty.
Yeah.
That is lovely.
And that's a test knit? So you're
That
gonna
was a test
send
knit
that,
too.
you're gonna send that to them?
That one,
When you test knit it, you mail it to them, right?
No,
that's called Pyrite Cowl by Helen Kennedy.
Helen Kennedy.
Okay.
Really by test knit, you are working through the pattern to make sure that it's working up correctly. It's something that happens sort of either after or concurrently with tech editing, depending.
Okay.
As opposed to sample knitting, which is what you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
So like on the pattern I found here, I'm just doing the charting, and there's just a small little error on the chart where she left off two markings. Other than that, it works. It's been perfect.
So it's like beta testing for
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I get it.
put it into
All right.
users' hands. They will find errors and email you.
Yeah, I have found errors and patterns and have emailed the designers.
Yeah. That's why it's an important part of the process. It's
Well, yeah,
the
and
two
I mean,
sides of the coin
it's so involved to do a pattern.
yeah.
Sometimes it's a printer error, sometimes it's a typo.
Yeah.
It's certainly not intentional. I think mostly it's a typo.
With the internet being what it is, the democratization of knitting designs, you don't have to work for magazines for this many years before you can try and get a publisher interested in a pattern book. You can just publish a pattern and put it out into the
Right.
world. And anyone can do that. And I think that's fabulous. But on the other hand, it means that anyone can do
Anyone
that.
can do it, yeah.
And you will get patterns that are just, and it's hard. I understand. I've done it myself. It's really, really difficult. And try as you might, it doesn't matter what you're writing. Errors will be there that you are blind to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on the one I'm working on right now, this is my third attempt at it. The first one, the colors didn't, they just kind of blended into one another.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing like a kind of a speckle with one, but it's too much of the same color I had. And then, so I took that out, did 2 solids, and then realized I was, instead of using a size 6 needle, what the pattern calls for, I was using 4s. So it's like the cowl is going to be like about that thick.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I finally got the right needles and I started all over again. So this is my third attempt. I want this done. I got other projects to work on.
You go from test knitting to testy knitting.
Yeah.
Touche. Touche.
One small letter.
Yeah, my start in the yoga, it's been a slow month for me for knitting. Because it's taken a lot for my body to get used to like really working out hard. And then to sit down and knit, I'm just like, I can't do it. I'm so tired.
Right. Exactly.
But I no longer need to nap for an hour after yoga. So I'm getting there.
Well, we're in the middle of the build for our new theater venue here, and that's where I am right now. I told them I'll be here and help all day, so I'm not in the shop today. I'm here at the theater, and like if you look over here,
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Oh, no.
this is the
Oh, there
world
it
I'm
is.
in. So there's one side, and the other side there, we're framing in the interior walls and the seating platforms and
Mhm.
before we lay the stage floor. And so what I've been doing, I've been on my computer since 10 this morning. Like I made diagrams. I'm doing all the design work, all the engineering as a sideline, volunteering my time. So, and then, something that you've measured 500 times is suddenly 2 feet shorter than your
Yeah.
diagrams indicate. And you're just
Yeah.
like, how did this happen? In the last 6 months, I have taken a measuring tape and measured that so many times. And then my CAD program is like, yeah, that's 37 feet. Like, no, that is 34 feet.
What,
Okay, everything needs to be 1.5 feet narrower. Don't build those blueprints. Let me get you new ones.
what software are you using for your drawings?
I use SketchUp.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's good.
So that's where I hello, does someone need me? Someone needs me. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
You guys can handle it. Cindy, what do you have for show and tell?
Tell them we need you too.
You know,
What I'm doing is I've got both of the, I'm knitting 2 sleeves at once.
Oh,
2 sleeves at once. I got
Nice.
both fronts done and I finished the back this last week. I'll hold that up. So you'll see what it's gonna look like on me. It's purple, my favorite color.
We,
That's cool. And this
Very
is
nice.
the, it's granite stitch. And I really, really like the stitch.
I love
Oh, I
it.
love
okay.
it.
I see
That's
it.
a great stitch.
A Jen Pericini design. It's called Postscript. And the bottom is really great. It's
Oh.
a 2x2 rib, and it's an invisible, it's tubular bind on, but you start with a provisional cast on and
Yeah.
then do that. And so, but it's
Oh, I
gorgeous. I'm really
love the
it's gone,
pebble
it's
stitch.
gone pretty fast. On the 19th, it will be only a month, Sumner. So I'm really working hard to get
Oh,
these 2
that's a
sleeves
lot.
done since I've done both. Both the fronts, the left front and the right front are done. And it's kind of it's V-neck cardigan. So I'm excited about it. It's
That
getting
looks
there.
neat.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm just using the Cascade 220 Merino.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
but it's
My next
it's
sweater.
a sweater for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, my next
Finally.
sweater, I'm gonna do the sleeves together.
Yeah, well, I figured I've had people ask why, and it's kind of like, well, then I have a chance that they'll actually match. And I have a better chance that I'll actually finish the second one.
Yeah, well,
And I don't want to get stuck on Sleeve Island. I tend to get distracted from other stuff. So it's kind of like, let's just do this.
I'll
yeah.
send you a pack of my Sleeve Island postcards.
Oh, that would be good.
I'm gonna have them reprinted for local yarn store day, which is coming up in 2 weeks.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that.
Fine.
Yeah, we
I
have
love your
a
Instagram.
we have a new yarn store opening up in Vancouver downtown.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
very exciting because the one we had, went away just before COVID, I think.
Yeah, that region, like, I mean, Portland had how many yarn shops for a minute? And
Yeah.
uh,
Though there was one in Vancouver and they closed down, just before COVID, I think. So they're really excited. Opening up on LYS.
that's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for us, the LYS is it's a couple days, isn't it? Or 2 or 3 days?
Some
So-
town, like in places where there are a lot of shops, they put together or they sort of move their yarn crawls into the vicinity of local yarn store day, which is
Mhm.
what's happened. The LA yarn crawl is next weekend. I think, which is the weekend before local yarn store day. But that's for LA County. I'm up here in Kern across the border, so I don't get to play.
Okay. Well, ours, it goes a long ways. I mean, it goes through several counties here. So it's, kind of goes up the coast. And I want to say there's like 20 something yarn stores or whatever. So they do it over 3 days.
Mhm.
You can like go way down south and then more kind of around my area and over in Seattle. And then there's another big chunk that goes up
Yeah.
north.
The Central Coast had a yarn crawl, but I haven't heard anything about it recently in San Luis Obispo, up and down the Central Coast. And my nephew and I did it together one year, and stopped at all the stores. But I think a lot of them have since closed.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
I usually only hit like, I don't know, 6 or 8 of the stores.
Yeah.
I was at a shop a few years ago when one lady showed up and she had like hit all 25 or something, and it was like the afternoon of the first day. I don't even know how she drove that far, that fast.
Wow.
Wow.
that's quite the event.
It is, yeah. But
Yeah, I
it's
thought of
fun.
trying to schedule a Bakersfield yarn crawl. And
A
you'd
yarn,
You'd
what?
start off at the Twisted Skein, and then since there are no other yarn stores nearby, but there are like 6 small breweries.
Oh,
Oh, so you could go and get yarn in the brewery.
Get a
and
pint.
Go back
Yeah,
and get
that's
yarn in the
At
brewery.
first, I just show you the yarn, and then you drink at 6 breweries and come back and
And
no
buy.
longer
Spend your money.
impulse control.
no inhibitions anymore to buy yarn.
Exactly.
How?
Exactly right.
That's good.
I think that starts out like a yarn hop and then it ends up a yarn crawl.
Wrong, yeah.
Well, what sorts of things do you do for your LYS day, Brian? What special? do you guys do?
So twice a year, we put out a new line or yarn or a re-dye of existing yarns for our Threadbare Dye Works line. So Tim and I have been working on dyeing up a new yarn that we're pretty excited about. I really like the way it's coming out. And I'll tell you more about that sometime when I'm in the shop and it's dyed up. And then we've been doing a yarn by the pound sale of discontinued things. I mean, on this end of the industry, even a lot of established yarn companies have shuttered. And so we've got a lot of yarns that we just cannot restock at this point. So rather than closing them out and having them around, we bring them out for special events and sell them sort of by the pound. You just fill up one of the special bags and we weigh it, and regardless of what's in the bag, we charge a certain price for that. So some things are a little bit discounted, some things are deeply discounted, but they're all just sort of one price by weight. We do some patterning things, we do giveaways, we fill the place up with tchotchkes, the occasional Gouda, and give them away. And then we'll have a little snack bar fundraiser with like baked goods and wine flights for that's a fundraiser supporting the theater rebuilding effort here, because we're just down the block from each other. And I think what people are most excited about is we're finally putting our open like knitting and crochet hours back into the schedule, which we haven't done since COVID. So it's generally a really, really good day for us. And by the time it happens in April, the weather is warm. What's the weather now? Something gross. I think it's just in the 70s.
Well, that's good.
Let's see, it's 25 degrees, whatever that is.
I want to say that's like a 72 or 73, something like that.
Yeah.
So Cindy, before I have to go, I just realized something, this book that I just purchased,
Yeah.
she signed it to me.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
Isn't that sweet?
That is lovely.
I emailed her a question about Intarsia. And then I bought her a book. I bought her book from her website.
Mhm.
How
That's
sweet.
lovely.
That's
That was
wonderful.
very nice.
Hold it up one more time so we can end with
Oh.
everybody seeing your book with the nice note.
Yeah, thank
Oh, lovely.
That's nice.
yeah,
Very
it
nice.
says, to Sumner, happy knitting, best wishes. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Ann Burke.
Well,
Very nice.
everyone, it's been another lovely week. Thank you all for showing up. We presume that Frank will be back with us next time. Well, he was with us a little bit today,
Yeah.
not in like a seance way. You saw.
Well, he was traveling. He was in the plane and then he was in the taxi.
The car, yeah.
And
he was
somehow
on
with
the
us
move.
through it all. So have a great week, everyone. I'm gonna make sure that no one has drilled themselves to anything while I've been in here.
Haven't heard any screaming.
Hopefully.
That's because I've been muting when the screaming happens. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good
Bye.
Bye.